So there's this talk about a deep state Air Force, a deep state military. And on November 23rd, 1989, during the Saturn-Neptune-Uranus triple conjunction, so you see that triple conjunction here, Uranus, Neptune, and Saturn all in tight triple conjunction on November 29th, 1989 at 5 p.m. A segment on Las Vegas TV News, KLAS, revealed the existence of a clandestine military base S4 near the Area 51 test facility. So according to a scientist engineer named Robert Lazar, S4 serves as a hidden military location for the study and research of extraterrestrial spacecraft using reverse engineering. And Lazar claims he saw 9 different extraterrestrial vehicles there and provide detailed information on the mode of propulsion and other technical details of a disc-shaped vehicle, which he calls the sport model, or which they call the sport model. He also claims to have been working on the fuel and element with an atomic number of 115 unum pentium, which allowed the spacecraft to warp space and essentially pull the desired destination to the ship. This method of travel enabled alien travelers to cross vast distances with the minimum 3-dimensional movement. Element 115 was first discovered in 2003 by the Joint Institute of Nuclear Research in Dubna, Russia. However, all right, according to the testimony of Robert Lazar, the American deep state, the S4 facility, already knew of this. They were already well aware of element 115 and how it powered these extraterrestrial craft that they had in their possession. So the claims of UFOs, if they're true, right, as evidence indicates, it would mean there's been a program to study and replicate them. No agency with a crashed UFO would simply sit on its hands for 60, 70 years and look at it. They would do everything possible to understand it, no matter how far beyond current science it might be. And also, right, this goes beyond the scope of what we can get in depth here today, but the vast cost of maintaining the secret, right? So we've had a lot of investigations, one of them by Catherine Austin Fitts, where she discovered 21 trillion is missing from U.S. government, along with Michael E. Sala, PhD. He's a recognized international scholar in politics, conflict resolution, and U.S. foreign policy. And he stated, based on his estimates, there are about the money that goes into the security of the UFO program in order to keep it secret is 7 to 8 times more than what's going into the public scientific research and development programs in the United States. So it's vastly more expensive to maintain a secret, vastly more expensive. So again, this is all part of the nature of the secrecy. This is all connected to Pluto, right? So this is going just way beyond investigating the CIA. This has, or looking at any other major intelligence agency. So we could see how everything is all very much connected when we look at the black budget, you know, and there seems to be a black budget within a black budget. Now, so this is all heating up in the 90s. And then 2001, we see on May 9th, over 20 military intelligence, government, corporate scientific witnesses came forward at the National Press Club in Washington, D.C. So what we see here is a hearing on the secret U.S. involvement with UFOs and extraterrestrials. So the May 9th event was basically significant in regards to the impact and orchestration that it achieved to break the censorship that was ongoing, right? So millions of people previous to 2001 were unaware or dubious about ET-related technologies and their significance for ending our dependence on oil, and have since become aware since that event. And this is just one excerpt of again, there was, you know, I believe there was over 400 witnesses from military intelligence, government, corporate, scientific witnesses. They all came forth and provided their testimony. So that was the total. And then we had, in the actual press conference, it was 20, right, of those 400. So we have all this information was given out to the mainstream media. Very little of it was conveyed to the American public, but it got put out there, and there were many journalists there that witnessed this event. So now things are really getting heated up here, and we see another event occurs with the Gary McKinnon affair. And basically what happened is that Gary McKinnon was arrested on March 19, 2002 for his investigation, where he was accused of hacking into 97 US military and NASA computers over a 13-month period while at his girlfriend's aunt's house in London using the name Solo. And basically he was arrested by officers of Scotland Yard's Extradition unit and was granted bail the following day. And he was to be extradited to the US to stand trial for computer-related crimes, right? So that did not happen. The bottom line is the UK government intervened at the last minute to prevent his extradition. But his story, now I think one of the things that saved the day is that his story on June 7, 2006, which was unknown at the time to the public, broke on Coast to Coast AM radio show, the largest show of its kind in the world. And McKinnon said on that show he was a moral crusader to uncover secret knowledge of government, of anti-gravity and zero-point energy technologies. And he said, quote, "These technologies should not be kept hidden from the public when pensioners can't pay their few bills." McKinnon got access to the United States Space Command network, where he found evidence of extraterrestrial missions and a list of under the heading of non-terrestrial offices, meaning not Earth-based. Also, McKinnon found a list of fleet-to-fleet transfers and a list of ship names that were not part of the U.S. Navy. The U.S. claimed he undermined sensitive systems following 9/11. After his arrest in London and nearly a decade of legal wrangling between the UK Foreign Ministry and the U.S. State Department, McKinnon was recently diagnosed with Asperger's syndrome. Now, how convenient, right? How convenient was that? And the UK blocked his extradition to the US because of that diagnosis. So basically, the 10-year legal battle ended. But what he provided, the information he provided publicly, was very, very shocking. That the US has an extensive, massive, deep state space program that is working in conjunction with extraterrestrials, where they have an off-fleet base that is not connected with the U.S. Navy.
To watch the full presentation and more like this on geopolitics, the economy, and world events from an archetypal and mundane astrological perspective, join the Global Transformation Astrology membership. Go to gta.williamstickevers.com. Become a GTA member today.